This Hangout on Air is live. Hi, loves. Sweet Georgia Pam here of sweetgeorgiapam.com. I am a highly sensitive spiritual director and dream coach, and this is my first try at live video through YouTube. So, hi, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Let me first apologize for the chaos behind me. I promise that my next video will be set up in a much more calming situation with a lot less going on in the background. But for now, someone told me once very wisely to show up before I'm ready. So here I am, showing up to share some dream wisdom with you before I am ready. All these tiny little things like fixing the stuff in the background is what's going to keep me from getting to you and from sharing all of this wisdom with you. So I'm going to ignore that and pay attention to you and say welcome. And this is what we're going to cover today. So I'm going to make a quick video about how to learn more from your dreams and your dream interpretation. I've got 4 quick tips for you on how to pull more out of your dream recall. And let's just very quickly dive right in. So I am a dream interpreter. I've been working with people's dreams for the last 10 years, probably, and studying dreams throughout that time as well, and the psychology of dreaming and the patterns of the dreaming mind. And it has led me to my vocation of spiritual direction, because I believe that dreams tap into all of our unconscious content, which includes our belief system and our faith. And so dream interpretation leads me down that rabbit hole, and we end up with spiritual direction. So what I offer on the site, I know I'm going to get to the dream stuff in a minute, is dream interpretations, which you can submit your dream through email, and I will give you a thorough response. And then we have a back and forth dialogue with a couple of email exchanges. So I have that as an offer if you just have a dream that you're dying to understand or unpack a little bit. I offer dream coaching sessions, which are sort of the middle of the road service, where you and I have a video chat where we get to unpack your dream together and just talk a little bit more about your own dreaming habits and what your dreams might be sharing with you. And then I offer spiritual direction sessions, which is an ongoing time and space for you to get a little bit deeper into your waking life habits and behaviors and your connection to God and divinity, and how the movement, how God is moving through your life. But we always start with dreams, and I enjoy working on dreams with all of my clients because it is very, very rich, soulful content. So how can you get more from your dreams? Well, there are 4 ways that you can share a dream that pulls that rich content out, in addition to just telling the dream, which is what most people normally do. So the first tip that I have for you, and I have to apologize again, this is the beginner in me. My words on the camera are actually backwards. So, this is just for your unconscious creative thinking mind. So the first thing that you need to do is give your dream a title. If you give the dream a title, this is what it will do for you. It will take all the extraneous details of the dream that you're trying to hold on to and tell the full story of, and it will condense it into the main theme of the dream. And so if you take the time to just get quiet for even 30 seconds and hold the dream in its complete story for 30 seconds and pull out the title of the dream, that will give you a lot of information about where the energy in the dream really is. Because all that detail is really important, but you want to start with what is the theme, or what is the main purpose of this dream? What is the main movement of this dream? So start with giving your dream a title. And then after you give your dream a title, before you share the dream in its entirety with someone, I want you to pull out the emotions that you experienced during the dream. Now, here's why this is key. Sometimes when I retell one of my dreams, it sounds really terrifying. It's a really terrifying dream when I share it in the waking world. But in fact, when I was dreaming, I was not scared at all. And that's really important because it means this is not a nightmare, even though when the retelling of it sounds like it should be a nightmare. So what you want to do after you've given your dream a title is you want to list all of the emotions that you experienced during the dream, not during the retelling of the dream. So if you'll pull out the emotions, it will give you a little bit more information about where the energy of that dream is going or where the energy of that dream is coming from for you. What kind of soul material is coming up for you to work with. And again, sometimes it comes out in this dream was really terrifying, even though the retelling of it doesn't seem like it should be scary. It's kind of funny when I retell it, but it was terrifying in the dream. So the terrifying is where you want to start. Sometimes there are no emotions attached with the dream, and that's important too. So pull out the title, pull out the emotions of the dream, and then, upside down and backwards. How's that for a challenge? And then get into the story of the dream, blah, 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 blah. Okay. What's important about getting into the story of the dream is that you give yourself freedom to tell the whole dream in its entirety. And this can be really short, but oftentimes it's really lengthy, right? When I wake up from a dream that feels really brief, but kind of packaged and complete, and I sit down with the journal and start to write it, halfway through, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm on the second page here. This is a really long dream. And if you shorten that, or if you don't allow yourself the freedom to tell the entire dream, then you're missing the whole story. You're missing some of that vital information. So it is important to pull out all the details, and in the storytelling, you might remember more details. Things start to come up. It's also helpful if you're telling the story to have somebody there to ask questions, clarifying questions of the dream. So you want to give yourself the freedom to write or tell, or both, the dream in its entirety. That will give you more information and more rich content to work with. Okay, and finally, and this is the, I don't know what I was going to say about this. Okay, so finally, here's the thing. You want to make the connections. All those little chain links are connections between your dreaming mind and, whoop, there we go, your dreaming mind and your waking mind. What will happen in the retelling and in the writing of the dream is you may remember, the dream pieces may remind you of something. So those are the things you want to pull out. What are all the things that came up while I was retelling the dream? What are all the emotions or the connections that came up to any part of my life while I was thinking through the dream itself? For example, if you have a dream where it's taking place in a room or in a building or in a house, what does the house remind you of? So in the telling of the dream, you might say, we were in a house that's kind of like the house from my grandparents when I was growing up. That's a connection. Or we were in a school and it was supposed to be my college dorm room instead of the school. That's a connection. So whatever personal connections you can make to your waking life, you want to get those out, say them out loud so you remember them, or more effectively, write them down so that you'll have those links in the chain that start to sort of build a bond between your dream and your waking life. Now, interestingly, people sometimes assume that the connection that they make is the interpretation. And that's just not the whole picture. The connection that you make is a really useful clue, but dreams come to tell us things that we don't already know. And so when you make that connection, that's a known connection. There's more there. That's a clue as to where you might explore to find the aha, or the new perspective, or the commonality that you hadn't thought through, or the meaning of the dream, really. So that's it. Those are the 4 ways that you can get more from your dreams and your dream recall. Give your dream a title, pull out the emotions in the dream, give yourself room to share the story of the dream in its entirety, and make sure that you verbalize or put in writing all of the connections that you make during the exploration of that dream to your waking life. Loves, I am Sweet Georgia Pam. And if you go to the homepage, sweetgeorgiapam.com, under the services, you can find email dream interpretation. And I would love for you to share all of those pieces on the form and submit your dream to me so that we can work with it and unpack it for you. And let's discover what wisdom your dream is trying to tell you. Okay? I'm going to be back. I'm going to do more of these, and I'm excited to see you and hear from you. So please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and join me on Facebook or Twitter at GeorgiaPam.com. Oh my gosh, at GeorgiaPam. And I'm clearly starting to ramble, so I'm going to sign off. I'm going to say sweet dreams, and thanks so much.